Well, hello folks, and welcome back. Today is an exciting day. So, I've done a few things to this truck so far, all work related. We got the slip tank on back, the back rack, the, bigger, better tires, for work really. But today is the first step in having some fun with this truck. So we're getting some new wheels on the truck today. So, the truck already looks nice. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice looking truck the way it is. Does have a rake. It's got the factory airbags. So today we're getting a leveling kit, just a spacer kit on the front, and a brand new set of 20x10 -25 offset wheels. It's a little more offset than what I was looking for. I kind of wanted a -12, but these wheels are really nice. If I need to, I'll put some better mud flaps on, potentially even some fender flares or something. But these mud flaps from factory, they actually do a pretty good job. They poke out there quite a ways, so that will help quite a bit. Hopefully I can still clear those with the wheels. If I can't, I do have kickback style mud flaps that I can probably put on this thing, but hopefully this doesn't get in the way of the new wheels. Yeah, so the guys at Entice Motorsports, Andrew, he's the one who's hooking me up with the wheels, setting me up with these new wheels. So here's a before shot, and I cannot wait to see what this thing looks like afterwards. Wheels.
Go get the new wheels.
Yeah.
And I'm going you go get some new wheels.
Yep, you got her. All right, guys. Well, I am absolutely soaked. I got caught in a rainstorm down working. I am in the truck right now, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. But I'm not going to shoot much footage here because there's just a lot of people around. There's some trucks around and stuff like that. I'll show you guys these when I get home. But if you are looking for, if you're in the area, wherever you are, in South Shore, Halifax, Valley, whatever, and you're looking for a dealer for wheels, tires, suspension, performance parts, sound, systems and all that sort of stuff, this is by far the best place to go. So it's Entice Motorsports. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. This place is absolutely phenomenal. They do all kinds of stuff, alignments and repairs and all that stuff too. But yeah, it looks so good. It looks so good. Like, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Alright guys, so here they are. They look so good. They look so good. I think they fit the truck almost perfectly, to be honest. With the black, but with the milled finish on the inside. And then with being the limited, it's got some chrome. I think it just fits the truck perfectly. No worry about color matching bumpers and all that sort of stuff. I think it is as close to perfect as what you can get. So I didn't pick these out at all. Andrew at Entice Motorsports, he actually picked them out. He wrote me and said, I brought in a set of wheels for you to take a look at. And I looked at them, I was like, yeah, those are sweet. Those are pretty much identical to what I would have picked for sure for this truck. So, yeah, as far as driving goes, that's a little bit later on in the video, but it drives absolutely awesome. So what do we have to do? So I was going to do the leveling kit, wheels, and shocks, but the shocks did not come in time. So there's still a set of shocks that are gonna go on this truck. I believe they're the Bilstein 5100s that are gonna go on this truck. So they're not on there yet. That's one thing I find about these Rams, the 4th gens, definitely compared to the Fords, is that they ride pretty rough compared to the newer 17 and up Fords for sure. But the newer Rams, the 5th gen, they ride a bit better. So I got new shocks coming, but what do we do? So we got an 1.75 inch, just a coil spacer on the front, ready lift. I just don't have the stickers on there yet, but it's a ready lift spacer here, 1.75 inch. So not a huge amount. I do have the factory airbags on this truck, so I didn't want to mess around with that too much. There is a spacer kit that you can get. If you start really lifting these trucks, you can get a spacer kit so that it's not always trying to fight. Because as soon as you start putting weight in this truck, the airbag is going to kick on. It's going to start raising it up. If you go too high in the front, it's going to kick it on when it's empty. So I think it's looking, I haven't measured it, but just judging by the wheel space from the top of the tire to the fender, they look pretty darn close, to be honest. So I think it's a perfect kit. Andrew picked all this out, the whole thing. Typically I do a ton of research on this stuff and I tell people what I want, but this was all him. So for the tires, they're the same tires that I've had on the factory wheels, the Open Country AT3s. I really do like those. So these are not a 35. They are, but they're not a 35, 12.5, 20. These tires, I got a bit of a better price on these because of the size that I went, and I didn't want to do the full 12.5. And now this being a 10 wide tire, it really stretches the tire out and makes it look 12.5 wide anyway. So these are 295, 65, 20. So they actually are a bit taller. So this is like a 35 0.2, 0.3 inch tire, and if you get a 35, you're typically only getting like a 34.3, 34.4. So these are a bit taller than what an actual 35 is, and I think the width, honestly, especially with this offset, is perfect. Like, I will probably continue to buy this tire size. I don't think I'm going to switch back to a 35, 12.5. Better price, more weight, a higher weight rating, and I think that they look perfect. They look perfect on this truck. So that's what's done so far. Shocks are coming. So let's look at the wheels. I'll show you guys what the wheels are that I went with. So here it is. They're a Vison Brawl. Here's the part number. I'll put this in a link in the description below. And they are a 20x10 with a -25 offset. And their load rating is 3,650 pounds. So a very good, very, very high load rating. So -25, it gets you, I'm gonna guess, 2 inches to the sidewall, 2.5 inches to the sidewall, something like that. These are the factory mud flaps on this truck. They do stick out a bit past the fender flares, but I do have a set of Husky kickback. I actually have 2 sets of Husky kickback mud flaps that I had bought for my Ford for my 2020 350, which I never used. And even though this is a Ram, I'm pretty sure I can still make them work, because you have to hardware them in anyway. You have to actually drill them in regardless. It does rub, so it does rub on this plastic piece right here. So I can trim that. They did do a bit of trimming right here, but I can trim that. That's no big deal. It's literally just plastic. It's just the plastic wheel well in there. I can trim that if it becomes too much, but you don't really notice it because it's just rubber on plastic. It's not rubber on metal or anything like that. So I'm not really that worried about it, to be honest, but we'll see. we'll see. I might end up trimming that off. But here's the wheel. You know, you have a really nice lip right there. I'm guessing it's got to be good 4-inch lip there. Nice center cap, and then the mill finish is really nice mill finish. And then on the outside, you've got the mill finish as well. I'm really digging the look of these wheels for sure. Yeah, it's amazing how much a set of wheels can set the truck off, that's for sure. And you know, I'm not a huge chrome guy, but a lot of people have, you know, all the blacked out trucks and the body match trucks, and I wanted to do something a little bit different this time, and I think that it actually turned out really good. Like with that wheel, I don't mind the chrome mirror caps. I don't even mind the chrome bumper. Before I did. With the factory wheels, I did mind the chrome bumper. That's just not what I like. But now with these wheels, it just breaks it up, and I think it just looks clean. Like, to me, this just looks clean. You know, you're not trying too hard. It's still a work truck, that's for sure. I've got the slip tank on back, the back rack there. This thing hauls heavy weights almost every day. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. I think it turned out mint. Handles great. They use the beads for the weights, so you won't see any wheel weights, which is awesome. Yeah, I mean, in the future, there's a good chance that if I keep this truck for a long period of time, which I really hope to do, that I will put a good lift on it, maybe like a 4 to 6 inch lift on it. But for now, I think this is the perfect compromise. Yeah, I'm really digging it. All right, so as far as driving with them, I haven't gotten up to highway speeds yet, but I will here in a second. But just sort of putting around, it feels really good. And I know with the Ford, I found when I put a level in 37s and offset wheels on my 2020 F350, it didn't handle near as good after I did that. With the Fords, you really need to do the caster shims. Carly makes a really nice caster shim. It's really important that you put caster shims on if you lift or level the Fords, but I haven't heard that too much about the Rams. So we'll get up to highway speed here. They put the beads in, and they said it will probably take a little while for the beads to break up, but it feels good. So I mean, I'm up to 110, roughly 110 kilometers an hour. Steering wheel perfectly straight. It's not darty at all. It's nice and tight. That's one thing I noticed with the Ford. I definitely did lose some handling characteristics for sure. They're obviously, the tires are the same tires. They're the Toyo Open Country AT3s, and they're really good. They're really quiet. But yeah, it literally just drives like factory, if not a little bit better. So I don't have the shocks on yet. The shocks are the next thing. They didn't get here in time, so it's still the factory shocks. But I do have the Bilstein, I think they're the 5100s. They're coming, so that will go on next. But man, what a difference. It makes the tire look so much bigger too. Like, it seems like it fills the wheel well so much better. Yeah, I mean, it literally just handles like it did before. Like I said, if not a little bit better. Yeah, no, I'm definitely happy. Definitely happy with these for sure. But I will get lots of stuff getting thrown up over the truck. There's no doubt about that. Alright guys, so that was the driving little small portion. It handles really good. With the Fords, like I mentioned during that clip, you definitely have to do caster shims. If you level or lift your Ford truck and you tell me that it handles really good still, unless you change your radius arms, obviously. But if you use your factory radius arms, you need to do caster shims. That's just, you just have to. With these Rams, it doesn't seem like you have to, because this thing handles just as good, if not better, than what it did before. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for this video. Obviously, lots more plans with this truck. I've got tons of bank stuff ready for this truck. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but there's four really awesome parts that from banks that's going to be going on this truck. I wanted to wait till the wheels were on it to do it. The wheels are on it, we're ready to go. Stay tuned for the shocks. I'll do a before and after video driving on the same road, comparing the stock shocks to the Bilstein shocks. But yeah, if you're around this area whatsoever at all, even if you got to drive a couple hours, it's worth it to get a hold of Andrew or any of the staff at Entice. Andrew is the owner, but honestly his staff is all awesome too. I dealt with Andrew to start out with, and then at the end it wasn't, and they were all great. So if you're in the market for wheels, tires, performance parts, muffler deletes, you know, stereo equipment, anything like that, give those guys a call for sure. I'll put the link in the description below for their shop. Give them a shout. But anyway, I'm just gonna stand here and look at that thing for a little bit. So you guys take care, stay safe. We'll see you next time. Bye. All right, guys. So that was the driving little small portion. It handles really good. With the Fords, like I mentioned during that clip, you definitely have to do caster shims. If you level or lift your Ford truck and you tell me that it handles really good still, unless you change your radius arms, obviously. But if you use your factory radius arms, you need to do caster shims. That's just, you just have to. With these Rams, it doesn't seem like you have to, because this thing handles just as good, if not better, than what it did before. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for this video. Obviously, lots more plans with this truck. I've got tons of bank stuff ready for this truck. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but there's four really awesome parts that from banks that's going to be going on this truck. I wanted to wait till the wheels were on it to do it. The wheels are on it, we're ready to go. Stay tuned for the shocks. I'll do a before and after video driving on the same road, comparing the stock shocks to the Bilstein shocks. But yeah, if you're around this area whatsoever at all, even if you got to drive a couple hours, it's worth it to get a hold of Andrew or any of the staff at Entice. Andrew is the owner, but honestly his staff is all awesome too. I dealt with Andrew to start out with, and then at the end it wasn't, and they were all great. So if you're in the market for wheels, tires, performance parts, muffler deletes, you know, stereo equipment, anything like that, give those guys a call for sure. I'll put the link in the description below for their shop. Give them a shout. But anyway, I'm just gonna stand here and look at that thing for a little bit. So you guys take care, stay safe. We'll see you next time.